It's Halloween. The forces of darkness are unleashed upon this world. But sometimes those forces don't get along. What happens when the nightmares that keep us up at night face off against one another? Tonight, the horror icons of cinema do battle in a tournament of terror. Watch that shadow lurking behind you. Watch that creeping under your bed. It's deep, fat, fried. Hey everybody, welcome to a special Halloween edition of Deep Fat Fried. We're going to be doing
the spooky lighting. We all made our lighting spooky.
This is actually pretty standard lighting for me, but whatever. Spooky! I'm so edgy, it's always Halloween for me.
Yeah, if you go to TJ's house, it pretty much always feels like it's Halloween.
Yeah, I pretty much just decorate my house with Halloween shit year round, so whatever. I think it's because I never got to be the goth kid that I wanted to be, because I was too big, too fat, couldn't fucking pull off the goth aesthetic. Didn't stop some people, but they looked ridiculous, so I never did it.
Yes, they did.
But anyway, so tonight, Tournament Terror, 2-part episode. We got 2 levels of horror icons. We got the B tier, which mostly consists of mortals or supernatural entities with minor powers. And then the A tier, which is like the heavy hitters. That's your Freddys and Jasons and so on and so forth. But in this episode, we're going to be focused on the B tier. Not necessarily the ultimate evils of the world, but, you know.
I don't even really think we should call it B tier, because this is like the welterweights or the featherweights, right, or the middleweights,
sure,
or whatever you want to call it.
It's like the evil bench. You know what? You need to
call it
bench.
like you call it lightweights or featherweights. Yeah, you can think of it like
that. Yeah. These people, because you go up against a fucking featherweight boxer that's trained, and you're not trained as a fighter. He's probably gonna fuck you up.
Yeah,
so
they're not B tier in terms of the terror that they create. They're just B tier in terms of like their power levels are not quite as high.
Well, yeah, of course. If they're stacked up against, but that's like saying like you're competing with the best of the best. Of course, the best of the best monsters are a league above the others.
So let's do so let's quick rundown here. We got a bracket style tournament. We've done these before, so you guys might be somewhat familiar with the rules. We have brackets. It's double elimination, so even the losers will have a chance to win the grand prize. You can lose once and still win the whole shebang. The winner,
which is only fair. It's only fair because sometimes you just you get screwed by a roll or whatever. This gives you a chance to redeem yourself in the losers bracket, which is good.
They're going to have, and then the winner of this B tier or this featherweight tier, if you prefer, is going to face off against the winner of the heavyweight tier. And that will determine who the ultimate champion of the horror icons is in this tournament of terror. So, who are our featherweights? I'll go with that term. So we got Chucky from the Child's Play franchise. He is a supernatural entity, but of course he's not on. He doesn't have the same power level as like a Jason or a Freddy, of course. We got Ghostface from the Scream movies. Then we have Paul's very favorite, the Cloyne. Paul, remember the Cloyne?
Yeah. Paul,
I can't believe you put the fucking Cloyne in it.
I had to put the Cloyne in it, dude.
Why'd you put the fucking Cloyne in this?
You lobbied him for hours. Because he did call me up. It's like, man, Paul will not shut about the Cloyne.
Yeah, Paul wants to act. Paul wants to put on this public face like he doesn't want the Cloyne on here. But
I've got a feeling that the Cloyne is going to go 2 and out. Let's just put it that way.
I don't know. It depends on how the Cloyne rolls.
We've got the great Michael Myers, who I really struggled on what class to put him in. He's kind of like in the middle. Jack Torrance from The Shining. We got Hannibal Lecter from various films and television series. But I think, in my mind, I'm thinking of the Hannibal Lecter from Silence of the Lambs.
Of course. That's actually the Hannibal Lecter that's canon. Let's all be clear about it. I know several people have reprised the roles at varying levels of aptitude, and some people really like those reprisals. But let's be clear. Anthony Hopkins in Silence of the Lambs is Hannibal Lecter.
You got the Jigsaw killer from the Saw films, and of course you got Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
I think this is actually a pretty good selection of featherweights,
especially the Cloyne, right? Especially the Cloyne.
The Cloyne is actually, I'm actually thinking about the Cloyne, TJ, and I think you may have fucked up and played a joke on all of us with this one.
Oh yeah,
because
why is that?
I'm remembering things about the Cloyne in the movie. I guess we'll get to it when he gets into the fight, but I don't know that he's necessarily as featherweight as you think he is.
Yeah, maybe he's not.
Because it depends on several factors. But anyway,
some of the factors it's going to depend on is the randomizations that have been built into the game. So I should go over really briefly some of the randomizations you're going to see. So each of these characters, when they go into battle, random chance in the form of a randomizer page is going to decide. It's going to decide whether they get an edge or a handicap or neither. It's going to decide what that edge is or what that handicap is. It's going to decide what weapon they're going to have access to, and it's going to decide what location the battle will take place in. So those factors can definitely come hugely into play to determine. Sometimes that helps the underdog prevail over, what you would think initially would be a superior opponent. And we've seen that happen before in these tournaments, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think that's about all the explanation you need. Now, I do have little biographical things about these characters. So let's start with our buddy Chucky here, since he's going to be in the first round against Ghostface from the Scream franchise. So, Chucky, here's a quote. "I'm fucking infamous. I'm one of the most notorious slashers in history, and I don't want to give that up. I am Chucky, the killer doll, and I dig it." Chucky is the main antagonist of the Child's Play franchise. Charles Lee Ray was a serial killer who used a voodoo ritual in order to transfer his soul into a good guy's doll in an effort to escape the authorities. Now, living in the form of a doll, Chucky can terrorize families forever. So, basic breakdown of powers and abilities and weapons. Despite his small size, Chucky has the strength and speed of a fully grown man. He can use a variety of weapons, such as knives. Chucky is highly intelligent, able to create complex traps and escape virtually any situation. He also knows some voodoo. Weaknesses.
Voodoo, running from the magic.
Yep. He also has some weaknesses. Chucky is arrogant. He's cocky. He tends to underestimate his opponents. His voodoo abilities only work under very special circumstances and require some effort and work.
Raise, sugar woogum bar, Southwest voodoo in the hog. What do they say after that?
Wicked
racist,
voodoo.
Dope.
No, we're fucking it up.
Doped up, fucked up killers.
I think we're singing two different versions of the song. ICP does that. They have like 9 versions of some of their shit. While he may look like a doll, Chucky has remained a doll for so long that he is anatomically human. Chucky can bleed and feel pain just like a normal human and is vulnerable to fire, gunshots, etc. So he's not like some invincible fucking creature. That's pretty much it for Chucky. Let's you can add if you have anything to add to Chucky, you can do so. While I'm gooding up the ghost.
No. I think we should just get through the bios and then we'll get to the fight and we'll talk about the particulars.
Well, let's talk about Ghostface. Okay, Ghostface quote: "Do you like scary movies?" Of course, that's that's pretty much how he introduces himself in the first Scream movie, which to me is probably still the best of those.
Yeah, he calls what's her name on the phone. Who's that actor?
Reese. Is it Reese Witherspoon? No.
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. Yeah.
Who dies right away, but interesting cameo role. Ghostface is the main antagonist of the Scream franchise. He is a fictional persona adopted by a number of people throughout the films. At least 12 people have taken on the mantle of Ghostface. They must have stuffed quite a lot of ghost faces in some of those later editions, because I only remember a few. Ghostface is an expert when it comes to stealth and evasion. He has combat prowess, criminal intelligence, and a bulletproof outfit. While Ghostface can use a variety of weapons, a knife is his preferred weapon. Weaknesses: despite his haunting appearance, Ghostface is still human and can be killed the same way as anyone else.
Sure.
So let's find out what kind of randomizations we can fucking fix. Let's start with Chucky. So will Chucky have an edge, a handicap, or neither? Chucky gets an edge.
Okay.
I should probably write this shit down to not lose what the fuck track I'm thinking here. Chucky has 2 minutes to prepare for the fight. That's his edge.
He's got 2 whole minutes, huh?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm getting a call from Raceland, Louisiana.
Oh boy, you get a call from Raceland? You better leave your house, DJ.
Raceland. I don't know what the fuck that's about. Get out of here. I don't want it. So Chucky has 2 minutes to prepare for this fight. So let's see what weapon Chucky gets access to. Pitchfork. It's going to be hard for Chucky to wield a pitchfork.
So, so that doesn't really help
Chucky
him.
has an edge.
Now, he does have 2 minutes to prepare, and Chucky is good at setting traps, so maybe he can rig the pitchfork in such a way.
2 minutes.
I think I mean, he's okay at setting traps, but really he's the trap. Like he's more of a run out of.
He's an unassuming little doll, and I don't know.
He's small enough to fit in small places, so he can drop from the ceiling, run at you from the side. You know, that's Chucky's kind of thing.
Well, Chucky might do something like rig up the pitchfork to where it's kind of like at an angle, and then you walk in the room and he slashes your fucking foot, and then you fucking and you fall and you fucking impale your own head on the pitchfork or something like that.
Maybe.
But Chucky, I can't really see him. He doesn't have the proper like size or leverage to actually.
Maybe we should take care of this as we go so that we don't forget. So Chucky's got 2 extra minutes and a pitchfork, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
To prep for this fight. We don't know the location yet, though.
Yes. So let's find out where this fight.
True.
Well, actually, we can do the location now. So let's see where this is gonna take place. An abandoned.
Maybe we should
steel
start
mill.
with the location. Let's start with the location on these.
All right, I can do that. I can make that the first thing.
That seems to be the most overarching thing. So it's in an abandoned steel mill. A lot of rusty, dangerous stuff around that can be used as improvisational weapons in a place like this. So you're talking like rusty old buzz saws, jagged pieces of rebar, concrete, chunks of bricks, and just all kinds of improvisational weapons.
Dilapidated machinery. There's gonna be a lot of stuff there.
Yeah,
and a lot of environmental hazard as well. You
a lot
get pushed
of places
around in there.
A lot of places for Chucky to hide too, because I remember
a lot of things to get him impaled on as well, though.
Yep.
So it's just like it giveth and it taketh away. It taketh away.
Let's find out what Ghostface's shit's gonna be. Is he gonna get an edge, a handicap, or neither? Handicap.
Oh shit!
Ate too much spaghetti.
Oh man, that's a bad feeling too.
So that's gonna slow him down.
Yeah, it's gonna slow him down.
Let's see what weapon he gets. Rusty meat hook on 3 feet of chain.
That's
a pretty cool weapon.
Yeah, I mean I could see fucking Ghostface doing some damage with that. So I guess what it comes down to for me is, if I could open the proceedings, is what does Chucky do with that fucking 2 minutes?
Right.
So he's in an abandoned steel mill. So he definitely has some time to set some traps, but he lacks his favorite weapon, a dagger, right?
Yeah, he doesn't have his little knife. He's got a pitchfork.
I think that Chucky is going to use that time to use the fucking busted up machinery to break off one of the tines of that pitchfork and then sharpen the edge of it. You get me?
Yeah.
Like he's going to break off one of the tines of the pitchfork, which for him is going to be a good size shiv. And then he's going to fucking sharpen that motherfucker up against some of that rusty steel and get it all nice and glistening and pointy and ready to fucking stick somebody.
Okay, I'll concur with Chucky doing that because a pitchfork is clearly not the ultimate weapon for him.
Because he can't do shit with that.
Yeah, there's no way
be able to lift a pitchfork.
So yeah, Scotty, would you agree that Chucky would spend that his 2 minutes doing that? Scotty?
Now, see, I'm thinking about it. I mean, like, is 2 minutes enough time to do that?
What's that, Scotty?
I mean, Chucky's not super strong. I mean, even if there's equipment, it's in disrepair. It's dilapidated. It's been abandoned. So is it necessarily going to be something just to break off that one of those prongs from that pitchfork? I don't know.
Maybe he breaks the handle of it and uses that as a pointy fucking dagger or something. Because he's like,
Well, that can make I could see him doing that because I think Chucky's also going to want the element of surprise. I mean, look, Chucky's smaller. He cannot fucking just go fight face to face. There's that.
Wait a minute. What if Chucky took the head off of a pitchfork? Could he wield that? Because that would be like a fistful of daggers. Yeah.
I mean, like that's not a bad idea. He might do something like that. He might even just fucking snap the thing in half and just have like a little bit of
almost like a kid-sized version. Yeah. Maybe Chucky makes it almost where it's like for a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like so he might do something. I think he would definitely try to modify his weapon because. That is the biggest disadvantage.
That gonna take all the 2 minutes because then
I mean we got
2 minutes is spent on that.
We got to say that his 2 minutes is spent fucking modifying that pitchfork because there's no way he's gonna be able to use it when it's full size.
I will tell you this: Chucky, I feel, is gonna be hampered if he's wielding what for him is like a little staff.
I think that
he's a dagger guy, dude. Like Chucky is always got it. He's a slasher.
Yeah,
he always wants that dagger. In fact, the same is true of fucking
Ghostface. Yeah,
Ghostface. We got a couple of dagger fighters here. I think Chucky's going to try and make something that approximates a dagger. And if not from the pitchfork, maybe he ditches that and grabs a saw blade that's small enough for him to get his little hand wrapped around so that he can use it to slash, and I don't know.
I think that what he'd be most likely to do is I think he's either going to use the fucking assuming this pitchfork is pretty sharp, and I mean it's a horror movie pitchfork, so we got to assume that the motherfucker is sharp. I think he's either going to break off the head of that thing or just leave like a fucking small length of wood, or he's going to just snap it and then use the fucking pointy end of the stick to fucking stab.
Well, here's another thing. Now, another rub to this with this tournament, and we haven't really discussed this. Is Ghostface going there like I'm fighting Chucky? So does he have the knowledge that, or is Chucky ambushing him?
There's nothing that says
Chucky has the edge here.
I think you got to assume that Ghostface is going into this knowing he's fucking fighting a
okay.
Chucky. Like he's not like totally surprised.
And he's had infinite time.
But you know what? I guess he went into it thinking, you know what? I'm really hungry. I'm gonna stop by fucking Olive Garden or something.
That's a good point, Scotty. That's a flaw in this because that would mean that Ghostface has had X amount of time to prepare too. He's not gonna walk in blind.
He's not prepared. Let's say that he went off and
he's looking. He's been on the lookout.
He ate his Olive Garden, and then all of a sudden, some event happens where he finds himself thrust into the situation where he's got to fight this fucking killer doll or something. Chucky's. I don't know how you fucking could couch it, but he didn't have time to prepare. He just runs into the fucking place like I'm gonna fuck this doll up because he fucking fucked my bitch or whatever. Maybe he killed Ghostface's girlfriend or some shit.
Dude, maybe it said on the receipt, "I know who you are. Meet me at old steel mill" or something.
Yeah, he got his Olive Garden. It's like, hey, meet me at the old abandoned steel mill.
I know your real identity, or whatever the fuck. That's how Chucky gets him there or whatever.
So, I mean, yeah, I think we could assume that he knows he's going to a fight. Maybe he doesn't know it's against a killer doll. I don't know.
But for some reason, he's bringing a length of chain with a rusty meat hook on the end of it.
Yeah, He's got a great weapon, But for some reason, he just really wanted to eat a ton of spaghetti. I guess that's maybe his weakness food, and he just eats too much.
All right, here's what happened. Ghostface and his girlfriend went to Olive Garden and fucking ate a bunch of spaghetti. And then, Chucky jumped out of the back seat, fucking strangled his girlfriend to death, and then runs off into the thing. And then Ghostface is out there looking for a weapon because he didn't bring his knife with him, and that's why it took 2 minutes for him to get in there. And he found outside the fucking chain and the meat hook, and now he's in there. But Chucky had 2 minutes to prepare with his little pitchfork that Chucky also found in there. So there you go.
So I have to assume that Chucky's going to spend most of the time
there's your implausible scenario. Yeah.
But I don't see Ghostface entering the steel mill, and Chucky's just like, here I am. Like,
no way. Chucky, that's not how Chucky fights. Chucky's going to be hiding somewhere, waiting to fucking get a surprise attack on this motherfucker. Because Chucky kind of kills you like a hyena. He picks at you. You know what I mean? He fucking comes at you. He slashes. He does some damage, and then he's gone. And then you're just like, fuck, ah!
Yeah, he cuts your Achilles tendon and then runs away, you know?
Right,
and
yeah, that's Chucky style. So it's like a matter of, like, can you catch him and fuck him up before he fucks you up too bad? And then
but Ghostface is going to have a range advantage in this, too. Because Chucky 1 is smaller, and Ghostface has a length of chain with a meat hook. So that does play into it.
Look, Chucky knows how to use his size to his advantage, though. Yeah.
And he's in an old abandoned steel mill, which is going to be filled with shadowy corners and old machines.
That's true. Ghostface is not going to be able to see very well, so I think Chucky has the edge here.
I think Ghostface too is just. I think he's going to be the prey in this situation, and it's just a matter
of
like.
It all depends on what can fucking Chucky plausibly use, because Chucky is a doll. So he's got a pitchfork. He actually got really hit hard in the weapon category because he can do fuck all with a pitchfork.
Right. She got a shit weapon.
What could a doll do in 2 minutes with a pitchfork to make it a weapon that he could use?
I really think he's just going to snap it in half. Because remember, he has strength akin to that of a grown human being, just through magic voodoo power. So I think he snaps that motherfucker in half.
Right now, I'm looking.
Gets a nice sharp stick and fucking is gonna ram that shit into fucking Ghostface's fucking abdomen or some shit.
Well, if he can do that, why wouldn't he just break one of those tines? Like I said, if he's got the strength of a man, wedge that fucking pitchfork in and snap those fucking tines off of it and make yourself a fucking dagger that you can, because it's already sharp. It's a horror pitchfork.
Yeah, I just don't know if 2 minutes is enough time to do that. Because, like, I imagine if you're doing that with the pitchfork, you're going to have to, like, stare, like, You're gonna
I'm talking about, like, wedging it under something and pushing all your weight and fucking leverage and strength down on it until it just snaps, breaking it. Not, like, sawing on it or milling it or whatever, just trying to break that tine, or smashing it up against something really hard, or stabbing it into the side of something that's really hard.
I guess it just kind of depends on how if the metal is brittle or if it's more flexible. Because if the metal is more flexible, you're gonna have to sit there and weaken that thing.
I mean, look,
pitchforks are designed to move hay around, so they ain't exactly designed to be dug around in the dirt.
Right.
So you gotta fucking take it. They're very thin. Like, have you ever seen an actual the pitch?
Oh, of course, yeah.
On a pitchfork are not super fucking thick.
Well, they're very
thin. You could break one. You know,
I mean, with enough time, but he only has 2 minutes. If he had like 20 minutes, I don't think it'd be much of a debate. But 2 minutes, I mean, it's hard to get almost anything done in 2 minutes. So even if he is able to, I mean, we have to assume at the very least. I mean, even if Chucky has a lot, supernatural strength to some degree, even if Chucky snaps, that's at least 30 seconds.
Let's ask ourselves: is Chucky just going to discard this pitchfork and look for something else that would be in a fucking abandoned steel mill to use as a weapon? Like, is he going to look at that pitchfork and be like, this is not what I need?
Dude, an abandoned steel mill would be filled with old abandoned tools, rebar. All of those things are plausibly there.
Yeah, pipes,
let's remember,
wiring,
Chucky has murdered people with other shit. I mean, he's used hammers. He's used fucking
scissors.
Yeah, I mean, like, even if Chucky could find a fucking screwdriver or something in there, that'd probably be a better weapon for him.
There's a screwdriver there, guaranteed. Like, look, it's an abandoned steel mill. There's gonna be a big, long, fucking Phillips screwdriver. I think Chucky's gonna say, "Fuck this pitchfork. I don't have time for this," and he's gonna go fucking use his 2 minutes to forage around the fucking area. Not only that, but to gain like knowledge as he goes
of the terrain.
Attack angles, hiding points, places that he knows that Ghostface isn't going to be able to reach him, etc. Vents, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I would say so. I mean, 2 minutes is enough to get a little brief overview of the place. So, TJ, I'm assuming this takes place at night, or does this take place during the day? Do we determine that?
It definitely takes place. I mean,
it's Halloween.
Everything is horror themed here. This is
okay. So it's night. Okay.
Let me tell you what I was thinking about when I was thinking about this abandoned.
Is there a full moon?
I was thinking about this as being. I tried to put a natural habitat for all the characters who are involved in this tournament who have natural habitats, and I was really thinking about. The steel mill from. I don't even know if it was a steel mill, but like there was always a lot of like factory sets in the Nightmare on Elm Street movies, you know, like these like furnaces and grates and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So I try to kind of get that, and then I kind of also thought about, even though it's not a outright horror movie, the steel mill from T2. So I kind of thought about those kind of locations. It's like really industrial locations.
I think because it's horror icons going on, maybe you guys won't agree with this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it would be unfair to a lot of the people on this list if we limited vision. So I think we need to like go with the spirit of this being a Halloween episode and horror movie episode and assume that it's lit like a movie set version of what we're talking about.
Sure,
right?
Of course. I mean, look,
it's night, but you can see, you know, because there's moonlight coming through the window or whatever the fuck, you know.
And let's be charitable here. I mean, like Ghostface and Chucky are both used to killing people in dark environments. I mean, both of them have used darkness to their advantage in these films. So
absolutely,
I think both of these guys have some idea about how to fucking stalk prey in the dark.
Yeah, but in my mind's eye, I'm gonna be looking at this as like a night set from a fucking like a horror movie. You know what I mean? Like it's got enough light where you can see the principals. It's got shadowy areas.
Yes.
Okay.
Now I happen to think that. So let's go with the conceit that Chucky discards the pitchfork and picks up something like, you know, he
runs all through the factory looking for hiding spots, vents and shit, and also looking for a weapon, and he finds a fucking screwdriver.
I'm gonna say, he finds a screwdriver, or maybe even just like a piece of like corroded metal that's like sharp, you know?
You know what he finds?
What?
A fucking box cutter.
There you go. That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's a tool that's all over the fucking place.
He's used them before too.
Yeah, so let's just go with the conceit that Chucky has a box cutter.
Yeah,
because that's definitely something you could believably find in some place like that.
A nice rusty old box cutter with a blade still in it, and it still works, and he's able to fucking wield it like a little switchblade, basically.
Right. So he's got the box cutter. Ghostface has got his meat hook on a length of chain, which is a good bludgeoning tool, and we're going to assume that it's also sharp enough to be used as a fucking hook too. So how does this play out? Because I kind of see Ghostface. The vision I see in my head is Ghostface kind of like walking along on one of those like narrow sort of like grates, you know?
Yeah.
And kind of just like,
but you know what's going to be hampering him? He's fucking full as fuck, dude. He's
got mom's spaghetti.
He's full of spaghetti. Now
he's full of fucking spaghetti.
He's not, and if he's got spaghetti at the fucking Olive Garden, you know he took advantage of the endless breadsticks.
Right, and let's be honest here. Like, and the whole conceit is he ate too much spaghetti. Too much spaghetti. So he is
overindulged.
He is like,
he's gonna have a little bit of a slower time.
So he's full. So he's kind of like wandering. He's like,
might even be farting. He might even be like less stealthy because he's farting and belching and like having to hold back farts and shit.
Like, oh god, I wish I hadn't eaten all the fucking spaghetti. Fucking son of a bitch.
I don't want to like this is not canon, but I want you guys to follow me here.
Okay.
Follow my logic because I really, before I start talking about the fight, I think about the environmentals, and really I think Chucky wins this. I'm going to say Chucky wins this because he has the drop on the dude. The dude has got a big fat belly filled with spaghetti. He's not in his prime. He didn't get any time to prep. All he had time to do was grab some fucking rusty meat hook on a chain. and run out there. He's not going to get a stealthy approach into the fucking building.
No,
because Chucky's only got 2 minutes to prepare. So he comes right in the front, and Chucky's hiding somewhere in there, right?
Yeah.
And this dude's like, doing his fucking Ghostface shit because like he terrorizes his victims.
Yes.
So he's gonna be like, come out wherever you are. Oh god. And like trying to goad come on, little Chucky, come get the meat hook. And he's gonna be trying to swing it, but he's also gonna be sweating. You ever get the fucking spaghetti sweats?
Yeah. Let me tell you this too. I mean, let's just think about this for a second. So Chucky's entire strategy when it comes to doing this is, like I said, he's like a hyena. He picks his prey apart piece by piece.
Right.
Chucky's gonna be hiding in those shadows. He's gonna be jumping out. He's gonna be fucking slicing at this dude. And the whole thing is like, can you be fast enough to catch Chucky in the act?
And he's
got a big fucking spaghetti belly. So I don't think he does it. I think you're probably right. I think for my money, I think Chucky wins. I'll vote Chucky, but it's tentative to what Scotty thinks. Scotty, do you want to make a case for Ghostface, or do you agree?
Let me finish what I think happens.
Oh yeah, sure, go ahead.
So I think in the nutshell, fucking Ghostface walks around. He's hampered by his spaghetti belly. He's trying to, be scary to Chucky, who ain't scared of shit because he's already a.
Well, I'll say this at this point. I don't think any of us disagree with that. I mean, he's obviously he's stalking.
Right. And Chucky's going to pick an ample opportunity as he's wandering around this factory to come out and slice this dude's Achilles tendon, which there's nothing in the book that says that he has it, or nothing in the movies that says he has any protection on his legs or feet.
No.
So he's going to cut his fucking Achilles tendon. When you do that, you can't use that leg. The guy's dead. He's got a length of chain and a meat hook. Chucky's just going to wait for him to fucking bleed and be in pain. And at the right moment, he's going to come and cut him again. Open up the femoral artery or some shit on the back of his leg and then run. And the dude's going to swing his fucking chain, but he's got a big spaghetti belly to deal with. And it's going to be slower than it would be if he hadn't had that goddamn Olive Garden all you can eat spaghetti and fucking breadsticks meal, but he did. And then Chucky, I don't mean to drag it out. Eventually the dude's dead, right? Chucky eventually has a simpering, whimpering animal about to die before him, and he cuts his throat and leaves the fucking place.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with your assessment. Scotty, do you think Ghostface would prevail over Chucky? Can you create a scenario, or do you think that you just concur with us on this?
Well, I'm trying to think about the times Chucky was defeated. And do I think that those scenarios would play out? Like one time I know Chucky was defeated by a fan.
Yeah, he fell into a giant fan.
There's not anything that's
happen here. It's an old abandoned steel mill. There's going to be big fans that maybe.
But are they going to be, but are they going to be going? I don't know.
See, here's the thing that really, the thing that really clinches it for me is just the fact that in order to fucking catch Chucky, Ghostface is going to have to be fast. He's got a spaghetti belly. He's not going to be fast.
Yeah.
He's going to lose.
Dude,
if not for that spaghetti belly.
Take Usain Bolt and sit him down at a table and have too much spaghetti, and I could probably outrun him. Dude, spaghetti belly is the worst.
You're right. And that's why I made it a weakness. I mean, look, I think that it just slows him down too much. I don't think he's going to be fast enough to catch Chucky. I think he's going to just get picked apart.
Yeah, and I mean,
by the way, I was kidding. I don't think Usain Bolt was big. He would still dust me with spaghetti belly.
Hopefully, people realize that was. But
I know. No, they don't. That's why I had to say it, because in the fucking comments would be a comment like, "Did Paul just say he could beat Usain Bolt in a foot race? This guy's really gotten fucking out of line." It was a joke, y'all.
All right.
Yeah. So I mean, I think in Child's Play 1, they shoot and kill Chucky.
Yeah. Shoot him through the heart. Yeah.
Yeah. They shoot him through the heart. But I mean,
there ain't no gun.
Ghostface doesn't have any fucking. He doesn't have a gun.
In part 2, he's got to be melted down by hot plastic.
Now, if it was an active steel mill, I could see maybe Ghostface, even if Chucky gets a cut on him, he grabs it and throws Chucky into the fucking, the steel, the molten steel.
You know a little bit about weapons, Scotty. You're not like a weapons expert or nothing, but I know that you're you like Conan and shit. And we all probably know a little bit about weapons, especially when it comes to movie type weapons. So the length of chain with the rusty meat hook, would you say that's good against a really fast, small, strong, agile enemy?
That's not a great weapon against that.
And that's not even his specialty. Now, if it was his specialty, like if he had some like supernatural like ability to wield it, then sure. But
I'll tell you this: like he does use different weapons in the Scream movies.
Well,
and it does seem like something that Ghostface would pick up to kill a cheerleader at school after he terrorizes her or something, you know, and hang her up with it. But in the terms of like, is that a good defensive weapon or offensive weapon against a tiny?
No, it's not.
Fast, strong, evasive.
Well, there is potential with it, though. I mean, but just look. Here's what I would say. If it was, you know, I mean, obviously we're saying it's fairly bright enough to see. But if Chucky already has that time advantage and Chucky just darts out, I just don't feel there's any way that Chucky's not going to do damage first.
So let's go
Chucky's
ahead.
going to deal the first damage.
Yeah, I think Chucky definitely gets the first blow, and I just don't see Ghostface having a response because
I think first blood in this fight wins it, and I don't see fucking Ghostface with his big spaghetti belly and spaghetti part.
I might think differently if not for the spaghetti belly, but I think that's the fucking deciding factor for me. So I think we gotta move on this one.
He's too slow. Yeah. Well, Chucky, I have to agree. I think overall, Ghostface, you know, maybe he damages Chucky a little bit. Maybe he's able to, you know, get the meat hook through one of his legs or something. But ultimately, Chucky just kills him.
So I think
Loser's braggart.
I think Chucker.
Get out of here.
I think Chucky goes on. So the next battle is the Cloyne versus Michael Myers. So let's learn about the Cloyne.
Damn, dude.
The Cloyne is a demonic child-eating clown. Where have I heard that before? And the main antagonist of the 2014 horror film Clown. Real estate agent Kent McCoy found a clown costume at one of his properties and wore it to his son's 7th birthday party. Little did he know he would be transformed into an unholy monster with a craving for the flesh of children. Powers and abilities and weapons. The Cloyne possesses super strength, enhanced speed, and agility. He possesses a healing factor, sharp fangs, claws, and has high intelligence. He can even survive a direct gunshot to the head. The Cloyne can be killed by decapitation. This is weaknesses. He can be killed by decapitation. He is also easily distracted by children and has a voracious hunger for their flesh. He can also be stunned by gunfire. However, this cannot kill him. I didn't involve any guns in this at any level, though, so I wanted fucking classic slasher weapons, so no one's gonna get a gun.
It's at least a good metric to know what kind of damage he can sustain and keep coming at you.
Sure.
This is why I thought he might have been better suited for the upper tier, because when I started thinking about the Cloyne, I was like, TJ's gonna say, because the question I had for you about the Cloyne was, technically he's the Cloyne when he's halfway to the Cloyne.
Right.
He starts as more of like a normal, like just dude, but with claws and fangs that preys on children. And that's how he gets stronger. And his final form is the demon, the Cloyne. So you're saying the final form of the Cloyne, which is like a demon that like eats children at will on the planet, that has been killed and is now being brought back.
Because of the suit.
Because so this is like a supervillain almost that you've put in the featherweight category.
Yeah, so maybe the Cloyne's gonna win it all. Who knows?
That's what I'm saying. So like Michael Myers, okay, what's he gonna do?
So Michael Myers, I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left. No reason, no conscience, no understanding. Even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil. Dr. Samuel Loomis. Michael Myers.
Actually, one of the greatest lines to introduce a villain in horror history, by the way.
And delivered great by Don Pleasance. I forget. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's a great actor.
It's Pleasant.
He did a lot of schlock, but he was great. Michael Myers, a.k.a. The Shape, is a serial killer portrayed as an entity of pure evil and the main antagonist of the Halloween franchise. Michael Myers has enhanced strength, high-level intelligence, durability, high endurance, tracking skills, and stealth. While Michael can use any blunt object as weapons, he prefers to use a knife. There's also he can use pretty much anything as an impalement tool. Like his strength is such, he grabs. There's one of, I think it was 4, where he grabs a shotgun, and you think, like, is Michael Myers going to shoot this bitch? No, he actually impales her on the shotgun. Crazy shit.
So he is real strong for sure.
Yeah, Michael Myers has fucking supernatural strength.
He's also impaled people. He's also stuck people to walls with like just a knife. So like he can lift someone with one. He's super strong. He has incredible strength. So that has to be remembered. While Michael
is incredible damage too. I mean, he's been shot several times and survived. So
Michael's very strong. He has been beheaded, set on fire, impaled through the chest, etc. He has a harder time killing without stealth and with foes that are strong themselves or have martial arts skills, such as Busta Rhymes.
When it comes to characters like this, I think we have to concede that it's not necessarily about killing; it's about winning the fight. Because Michael Myers has come back from being burned, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's true.
He's been shot. He's been exploded. He's been decapitated. He's been.
So I mean, come on.
Yeah, it's winning the fight. Yeah,
I mean, there was
exactly.
Right, so like whatever happens to Michael Myers, chances are he's gonna come back at some point.
He's coming back, yeah.
And the same thing with the cloyne. Like the suit persists throughout history, and it finds its way to another person after it gets destroyed.
Absolutely. That's the whole point. So let's find out what kind of fucking fight we're gonna have between these two. So first of all, let's figure out locations.
Okay, yeah.
The Amityville house.
Okay, so just an old house that people
old creepy house.
Grifted and said where it was haunted, but really wasn't.
Yeah. Well, in the context of this, it's the Amityville house from the movie, so it is haunted. It's
got the demon and Bale or whatever living in the basement.
Yeah, so all the fucking ghosts are there. Maybe the ghost maybe they'll intercede. Who knows? We'll see. So we're gonna start with the cloyne. Find out whether he's gonna have. No, I haven't done it yet.
Oh, okay. So I see.
Okay, yes, he is gonna have a handicap. So what's the cloyne's handicap going to be? Farted in their diaper and some poop came out.
The cloyne doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Well, he did give a shit.
The cloyne is wearing a suit that is his body, and he pooped in it. And he's not going to give a fuck.
Yeah. I mean,
probably what he does naturally does.
I'm not even gonna bother writing that down because I don't see that having any impact on the fight. I mean, Michael Myers is not going to care about the smell of the fucking cloyne shit, and the cloyne's not going to care his shit in its pants.
No.
Let's see what he gets. Claw hammer.
Okay.
The cloyne has it. Okay, yeah, I mean that's good. Whatever. I mean it's a good little bludgeoning weapon.
So let's see what Michael gets. He gets an edge. What's his edge? Brainwashed TJ assists him. So I am
Okay, so that's not.
I'm going to basically be a brainwashed version of myself is being directed by Michael Myers to fight the cloyne. So that might be useful for a momentary distraction, I guess.
You know what I pictured?
In the cloyne movie, he fights his wife, the guy that becomes possessed, the real estate agent. So I mean, that is an advantage because he didn't just dispatch those people instantly. I mean, obviously he was distracted by her being pregnant and shit. There was some other factors, but you're still gonna do something, even if he has to kill you, even if he goes and kills you quickly.
Hey, the time it takes for him to kill me might give Michael a chance for a fucking attack. So.
Yeah,
that's true. But
yep.
You know what I pictured?
Yeah.
Because the cloyne likes little kids, I pictured you like dressed up like an 1860s boy with like
with like a giant lollipop.
Yeah, and a giant lolly and the little you kind of look like the berries and cream kid or whatever. You remember that commercial?
Yeah. Berries and cream. Yeah, I remember that.
You got like this.
No, we're not doing the fucking
you're like.
Fuck the.
You're like, hello there, Mr. Cloud.
All right.
I sure do love Cloud.
Oh damn, dude.
So Michael Myers has the communist combo: the hammer and the sickle.
It's the fucking Soviet version of Michael Myers.
Yes.
Damn. He's gonna wield that brutally. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, damn. So this is looking better and better for Michael Myers.
The
dude.
sickle is so we know if the cloyne can be decapitated, a sickle is a pretty good decapitation tool in this instance, especially in the hands of Michael Myers. So
and having it.
Well, the range is not great. A sickle is just like that. It's like a hand scythe, basically.
Michael Myers is pretty big, and to slash out. I mean, I'm not saying it's like it's not like a spear or something, but that gives him pretty decent range compared to like just the knife.
All right, so that's our fight. So like, how does this play out?
I hate you for putting the fucking cloyne in this.
Yeah.
So the cloyne, I think, is faster than Michael Myers.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah, Michael Myers is not a fast monster.
The cloyne is wielding a pretty good small hit and run weapon. It also has claws, so it might just throw that fucking hammer at Michael Myers.
Yeah, it might just.
You know what I mean? I can't really see a hammer upgrading its big giant fucking claw.
Well, I mean, at the same time, Michael Myers has a brainwashed TJ. So how is he going to use? Is that going to be like if the cloyne gets an advantage, suddenly TJ pops out and grabs him and gives Michael Myers breathing room? Is it going to be, hey, I'm going to distract you with this?
I guess we have to ask TJ. Like, what would you do if you were a total sycophant to Michael Myers and you had to protect him at any cost from the cloyne? Like,
I mean,
and you had no concern for your own well-being because it had been brainwashed,
right? Because that's the whole thing, is the brainwashing thing. So,
you don't give a shit.
I mean, I would imagine that I would basically attack the cloyne. And then while the cloyne is like brutally ripping me to shreds, Michael Myers is like trying to get an attack going,
So here's the thing. It would take the cloyne like a second to brutally rip you to shreds. It has giant claws and it's super strong and agile. It would cut you and you would be completely incapacitated in one attack.
Right.
So it's not like you're going to distract him for longer than a second or two.
I mean, I don't know if I agree with that.
Yeah,
I think
that seems a little bit.
At least 5.
I don't. TJ's big. That's why I didn't think he.
Yeah, but you watched the movie too. If we're going based on the movie, you can't just say, "Well, whole cloth." Like he would slash him and he'd be dead, and that was it. Like he fought other people in the movie.
I don't remember. Yeah,
I didn't say he would slash him and he'd be dead. I said he would slash him and hurt him so bad that TJ would be incapacitated.
He's a sycophant. He's going to still keep coming. So the cloyne's going to take at least maybe 5-10 seconds to dispatch TJ, and that gives Michael Myers ample time to fucking take his head off or stab him.
I gotta disagree that anything with super strength and super agility is going to take 10. Because let me count it for you.
Okay, but in the movie,
1,002, 1,003.
Why didn't he do that in the movie? If he had those abilities in the movie, that why was never that.
TJ, I didn't put TJ. Yeah. You looked up your information. I didn't give you the information on the cloyne, right?
Right.
So in the movie, when he's in his final form, the whole point is Scotty, is that in his final form, he's a demon.
Yeah, I know.
Like a full-fledged demon living on Earth. He's not just like a kind of strong dude.
Let's take a look here.
Yeah, he's fast. He can jump. In the movie, he jumps all over the fucking place. He moves faster than the eye can see. He slashes real quick. He's not going to take 10 full seconds to kill TJ.
Let's just see.
In his final form.
I mean, that's your opinion.
So here he is, his ultimate form here.
Yeah, I mean, he's pretty imposing. I don't deny that.
I don't even think that's his final fucking form. I think that's a transitional form towards the end. He gets like huge at the end.
I don't think that he is a form beyond that. Maybe. I mean, like I said, I don't remember the movie super well because it's not that great.
Well, it's close enough to the end that we can assume it.
Yeah, I think this is his final form here.
So super strong, super agile, has razor sharp claws, razor sharp teeth.
How is he
defeated
in the movie?
Are you saying that your character just runs in and attacks the
I'm saying I run in and grab him, and I think he fucking breaks my grip pretty quickly. I mean, I'm going to assume it's going to take at least
in the Amityville
house, right?
Amityville house. Okay, so it's a house. It's a regular house. So where in the house do you grab? Like,
it's not a regular house. There are ghosts in the house. So I don't know that the ghosts are going to necessarily intercede in this in any way or even be a factor, but there are ghosts there.
This is the type of thing that like TJ would come running at it thinking he got the drop on it, and it wouldn't even look at him and stick its hand out and grab him by the throat and break his neck. Like that's the type of villain he is at the end of this movie. He's like
How was the cloyne defeated at the end of the movie?
by the love of his wife, because his wife.
His wife distracts him, and then someone decapitates him from behind or something.
Yeah, he gets chained up.
His wife distracts him. He gets chained up in the basement and hidden away, and then eventually just decapitated or whatever the fuck it is at the end. When she finds out that she can't save him, she kills him.
Yeah.
But he'd already been subdued because his host loved her. Nothing that he loves is in the fucking Amityville house.
Right.
No, I definitely know that.
It ain't gonna like. Can we do an experiment?
Isn't there a ghost? Wait a minute. Wait. Isn't there a ghost of a child in the Amityville house? Canonically in the film.
I think there is. Yeah.
So couldn't that could potentially distract him? Like, ooh,
it could, but we're not even there yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not even to that point yet. I agree.
Okay.
We're talking about your ambush attack because you're brainwashed, TJ, and we asked you, what would you do? And you said you would attack the guy. Now, do you wish to change that?
No, I think that's what I mean. Like, I'm brainwashed. I consider myself at that point to be sort of like a brainless zombie. Like, I don't have any fucking regard for like my preservation or anything. I'm just like,
you run up to the coin.
Clown threatened master must kill coin.
Right. I want you to just indulge me in an experiment.
Okay.
And let's count out 10 seconds.
Okay.
1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,005, 1,006, 1,007, 1,008, 1,009, 1,010, 1,000.
Yeah. I think within 5 or 10 seconds, between somewhere around there, is how long. If TJ attacked the coin, how long it would take to dispatch him.
Does the coin want to like is the coin just like meh dispense with you, or is he like taking some relish?
He came to fight, right? I mean, we know both of these dudes came to fight.
Right.
This is about fight. They know they came here to fight. So he's not here to relish anything. Now he might be distracted by a little girl. You want to make that claim? That might, add some time to what it would take to dispatch the TJ. But I think that would be giving TJ a power up if the little girl shows up right when TJ does.
Yeah, appears randomly and it's like, no, look at me.
But whatever. I mean, I'd be willing to cut it in half and say maybe he's got, but 5 even seems like if you watch the end of this movie, he's pretty like fast as he's turning into the clone. Like it's like a werewolf almost.
Right. Well, I don't deny that. I think TJ be dispatched quickly, but I mean, saying 1 second, I mean, that's
he could rip his throat out, and what would TJ do? What if he just like slashed TJ's throat with one swipe?
Here's how I assume it. TJ runs at him, so the coin, even if he doesn't see it, so that's a couple seconds. TJ's gonna be in the house. He runs at it. The coin slashes TJ. Maybe it does a lot of damage. Maybe it kills, but unless it's an instant kill, even TJ falling to the ground is going to take a couple seconds. So I think that's going to be at least 5 to 10 seconds. And that gives Michael Myers an opening to attack.
I mean,
well, then why even have the assist, Paul? If it's like, it doesn't even make any sense. If it's like Michael Myers doesn't use the assist,
because this would have worked better with somebody else. Like, TJ happened to draw one of the stronger fucking people on this list as his opponent. Like if this was like Clown Face or something, or whatever, the guy from the last one that lost. What's he called again?
Ghostface,
yeah,
Ghostface killer.
TJ, it would take Ghostface probably 10 minutes to fucking fight with and wrestle with an angry TJ. Or not 10 minutes, 10 seconds, and stab him enough times.
Ghostface, I would say longer, because I mean, even if he stabs TJ, that's still gonna take a few.
I'm willing to meet you halfway and say he's got 5 fucking seconds that it takes him to deal with the whole. If we can
compromise on 5 seconds, then at least we can say it's TJ's 5 seconds.
Like, I think you probably think it might be a little longer. I think it might be a little shorter. So we're gonna have to find a middle ground on this. I'll give you your 5.
Yeah, I'm happy with at least 5 seconds because I think that gives, if nothing else, Michael Myers has a solid opportunity of attack. I mean, because even if it's killing TJ, maybe his back is to Michael Myers. Because even if he has to dispatch TJ, he has to at least face TJ to do that.
So one of the problems we got here too is that Michael Myers is in like 13 movies or something, and every one of those movies kind of has a different idea about how much power Michael Myers has, how fast he is, how big he is. Like there's lots of different interpretations of who Michael Myers is. You know what I mean? We got to fucking decide on what Michael Myers we're talking about here.
The clone doesn't have the benefit, and neither does a lot of the people on this list have the benefit of multiple iterations of themselves that always get stronger. So we have to assume, right, it's got to be an early Michael Myers iteration. We can't go with like the Space Hulk Michael Myers or whatever. No, I know that's Jason, but you get my drift. Like,
so like,
I get you. Yeah.
I mean, like, there's because
what can Michael Myers do in the first couple movies? Like, what was the range?
Okay, so if we're gonna just go like on like maybe like the first few movies Michael Myers is in and like kind of ignore some of the later shit, we know Michael Myers can survive being shot. We know he has super strength. That's all fucking established very fucking quickly in the movies.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, the clone ain't shooting no gun at him though.
Yeah, no one's shooting any guns. No one here's got a gun. The clone has a hammer, but he's probably just gonna use his claws. Michael Myers has a hammer and sickle, which he definitely will use if he gets a chance.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd say if you're going to go with the Michael Myers from, like, maybe the first 2 or 3 movies that he's in, then, you know, you got the strength, you got some imperviousness, but not, like, invincibility or anything.
He also has a penchant for beheading.
Yes, he does like to chop people's heads off. Well, he likes to. So
that is an advantage he does have.
But like, how often is he going up against someone who's can move like the clone can? Because the clone.
Well, here's the thing: he's got 5 fucking seconds, TJ. That's why I was arguing so hard for a lower number of fucking seconds.
Right.
Because giving him 5 fucking seconds of unadulterated attention is on you for the clone means that fucking Michael Myers comes out from a pillar right behind him. And as he's fucking finishing you off, he beheads the clone with the sickle.
Well, you know, like,
and makes sure he's dead with the fucking hammer, and it's over.
The thing is, too, though, is that Michael Myers is not exactly Speedy Gonzalez, though. You know,
that doesn't matter, though. It's like he's in the house, right?
Yeah,
the clone is coming into the house. You're ambushing him.
His
the other way around.
Like, I'm trying to fucking. First? I need to see this clone in fucking action is what I really need to fucking do.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. But like Michael Myers obviously is directing your attack, TJ. So I think that's what Paul is saying. Like if you're a brainwashed sycophant where you're just going to run at him, like he's not going to do it when you're like, he's not able to attack. He's going to do it where he's going to. Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry. I was going to say what you were probably going to say. So you go ahead.
Just, I mean, like, yeah, I mean, if he's using, if it's done to his advantage, like, yeah, the 5 seconds is enough time where he can probably decapitate the clone. But like you said, if you want to look at more into the clone's abilities and speed, I mean, I'm definitely willing to see that because maybe the clone dodges or something. I mean, I'm not willing to dismiss it outright.
I'm trying to fucking.
We know the clone is super fast. We know he's super strong, but here's an element that we kind of glossed over that I think we need to consider here.
What's that?
Does he get itch ass? Because if he farted in his diaper and some poop came out, he's got a fucking like if you've ever pooped a little bit and a little tiny bit of shit came out and you don't know it, and you find out like 30 minutes later because you get a raging case of the fucking burning itch ass. Like he's gonna, it's uncomfortable. Babies get rashes on their butts. You have to put fucking powder on them to keep the fucking diaper rash away because it's like when you're soaked in your own feces. Like you get itch. Like are we gonna say that the clone, who's human enough, by the way, to be influenced by his host vessel's wife, right?
Yeah.
Does he get itch ass? Because that would make him pretty fucking uncomfortable too.
I'm trying to find somewhere that's actually, man, they don't fucking. There's like it's hard to find this fucking movie. It used to be streaming in a few places, but now it's like nowhere.
Yeah, it's for the best, by the way.
Yeah, the movie sucks. Fuck.
I'll tell you what I remember because I did a fucking review on it, and I had to watch the movie for the review. I remember that he at the end, the only thing it was almost insinuated like the only thing that was going to stop him was his wife.
Right.
Like that was the plan. Was like the only connection that he had to the world anymore at all was her because the host vessel was still in there somewhere. And so she appeals to his love or whatever the fuck. But like it's established that if that hadn't happened, he was just going to rampage. No cop was going to be able to kill him. He can be shot. It's not going to matter. You know, you have to fucking, he turns into like a werewolf. You have to behead him to kill him. Who's going to do that? So he's like powerful, dude. A demon made flesh is powerful. That's the whole point. And kind of what makes the movie lame. But also that's, you know, that it's not a critique. We're not here to critique the fucking movie.
Right. No. We're here to fucking decide who wins this thing.
The movie portrays it like, I remember this ominous speech of the guy that used to own the clown suit. When he's unleashed upon the world, children everywhere will suffer, and none will be able to stop him. He will feed wantonly, wherever he wants, however many he wants, whenever he wants. He will be a true scourge on the planet. You know, there's this whole, I don't know if that's a direct quote, but there's this whole ominous, like, we can't let him turn into, you have to kill him now while he's still half your husband. Because if he turns into his final form, he's a fucking scourge on the planet. He will eat children until the end of time.
Right. But he has been stopped in the past. So obviously
he's been stopped in the past by people fucking beheading him.
Right. Human beings have stopped this thing.
But they've done it with concerted effort. He talks about it.
Yeah.
He talks about how it took an entire town worth of people rising up against him to stop him the last time.
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah, I wish I could find this movie streaming somewhere so we could fucking kind of like get an idea of his like how he moves. What kind of speed
look at something real quick.
You know?
Let me look at something real quick. What
year
did this come out in?
What's that?
What year did this come out in?
2014.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because I've been all over the place.
I've been looking on streaming services. I've been looking on YouTube to see if they have like the ending anywhere.
I've got a less than reputable copy here that's trying.
It's on it is on Prime Video. I guess you can watch it. It has ads.
I looked on Prime. I didn't see it on there.
It's free with ads, and that would suck. Here, I think I found it, guys. Okay, here I landed on something that looks like it's good.
Okay,
cool.
Yeah, let's use this as some context.
Okay, so you want to unshare?
Yeah, I'll unshare my screen for a minute.
Okay, and I'll share mine.
All
right, here we go. You ready?
All right.
Okay, look, I'm gonna try and find a place where he hasn't been attacked yet.
Yeah, go to a little earlier in this scene when he's
because it looks like they've already got him in the basement and shit. It's just that's why I said it's so fucking hard for me with this movie because it's been so long since I've fucking seen it to know where to go. Let's try here and see.
Yeah, the coin's not somewhere we're super familiar with as far as watching it all the time.
I reviewed it, so. All right, so this is them distracting him. So this is the plan.
So he's got this kid that he's going after.
Let me go back a little farther. This is kind of the only good scene in the movie where the wife is going to feed a girl to the cloyne. I think, yeah, this might be a good scene to look at and see. But I don't think he's fully transformed here yet either. It happens so fast at the end. Here, let's see. Because she basically kidnapped a girl. Like, this is a really weird moral moment in the movie. The wife kidnaps this little girl to feed it to the cloyne.
Yeah,
because she thinks that's gonna stop it.
Like that's gonna satisfy it, and it'll be like let her have her husband back or whatever the fuck.
Right.
You're home.
All right, he's not gonna fucking pop out. I don't want to show too much of it. I'm trying to find a fucking spot. You can see my pain here. Like, I don't want to show the whole goddamn scene.
I feel your pain.
I feel your pain.
TJ, I do not know why you picked this monster, but you're a son of a bitch for picking it.
Whatever. I mean, I don't know. You're gonna get what you want.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to know the exact moments and have them timestamp.
Whatever.
Well, the scene under the stairs, that does give me a refresher. The mom is able, obviously, the clone is very distracted. You know, he's got his eye on the prize. He sees that kid.
Right.
You know,
she wraps a chain around his neck. She's able to fucking pull him.
That's her
back
beheading him there. I mean, but right around in here, he's creeping. Let's see.
Clone is creeping.
God damn it!
Okay.
It's fucking Russian sites. They always do that. That's the problem with using these. Is the play button becomes a. Okay, here we go.
All right, so here's the kid. He's fucking worried about this thing. Okay, there he is, creeping around.
Oh, shit, there's the fucking cloyne, dude.
I'm the cloyne motherfucker, and I'm creeping about.
Wanna eat some tasty-ass kids right now.
He's obviously going to pop out right there.
Of course.
Don't even do it, kid.
Is the cloyne here?
Yep.
Is it the cloyne?
Okay. Why wouldn't he just go through that? Seemed like he was big enough to pass through that.
Because movie bad.
Because the movie sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's total plywood. It's like even a dude that size could bust through that. It's just slasher movie. Almost gotcha shit.
Yeah.
But whatever. You're not going to get what you want. That's why this is such a bad entry, TJ, because let me see if I can find the part where he's described.
It wouldn't even be a bad entry if you would just be like, yeah, the cloyne sucks. Michael Myers wins. Next.
I'm going to try and find that part in this where he's described.
Yeah, the description. The description of the cloyne.
Where because like this guy goes on a quest to save himself for a while. Here it is.
Yeah, this is the description of the cloyne.
Okay, let me go back a little bit. All right, let's see if it works. Fuck you, Russians.
1, 2, 3 movies.
Yep, you gotta love them.
It lured children out of the villages into its cave. 5 children. 1 child for every month of winter. Over the centuries, the legend of the cloyne was forgotten. He became the clown. His white face and red nose to make people laugh, to entertain children. If only they knew.
What a stupid movie,
man,
dude.
that read. Oh, and the fucking eyeballs.
If only they knew.
Oh, that's such a fucking Pennywise fucking ripoff. It's painful, dude.
Yeah, you know what? I think Michael Myers gets in there and starts insulting the cloyne, dude, until the cloyne shrivels up into a little prune and dies.
Looking at that and refreshing myself about the end of that movie and just how fucking shitty it is, Michael Myers uses the 5 seconds easy that it would take for this thing to dispatch of TJ. And cuts its fucking head off with the sickle and beats what's left of it with the hammer. Yeah, probably killing TJ in the process or finishing him off in the process. It's over. You know what I mean? Reshare your screen, and I want to see the cloyne in the losers bracket, and I want to see him 2 and out.
We'll see. He might fucking. I mean, like he is he is canonically pretty powerful. So
I know. He's a piece of shit.
Well, honestly, this is a totally different fight. It's all the circumstances. If it's the cloyne versus Michael Myers, that's definitely a more interesting fight.
So, our next battle, and by the way, we've been going for an hour and 9 minutes, and we've only gotten through 2 of these fights. These are taking a little longer than I thought. But whatever.
I mean, like that's what do you want us to do?
Hey, I don't want you to do anything.
I'm
just pointing out that it's fucking like we're really taking this fucking seriously. That should be a fucking sign of that shit. All right.
Well, no shit.
Next fucking battle. This is an interesting one for me because this is the first battle we've had of 2 completely human characters.
Yeah, no special advantages, really.
No special powers or anything like that. These are human, not normal human beings. This is 2 humans against each other. So we got Jack Torrance and we got Hannibal Lecter. All right.
Okay.
Jack Torrance, of course, the here's Johnny.
The caretaker of the Overlook Hotel.
John Daniel Edward Jack Torrance is the main character in Stanley Kubrick's The Shining film. Jack is a writer and alcoholic who was driven into madness at the Overlook Hotel. He was driven into madness and attempted to murder his wife and son. Powers and abilities.
Scotty, Mr. Kirk.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Do you know that there is a neighbor attempting to interfere in all this?
A neighbor, huh?
Neighbor.
Yes, a neighbor, sir.
Yeah, neighbor. Jack Torrance is a highly intelligent, enhanced speed. I don't really know if he had enhanced speed. He definitely has the ghosts of the Overlook kind of working in his favor, but they didn't really do too much for him in terms of that. They just made him deranged. His preferred weapon is, of course, his iconic axe, which he could get, but pretty fucking unlikely. He also could land the Overlook Hotel as a location, but also very unlikely. Weaknesses. While very intelligent, Jack is mentally unhinged, an alcoholic, and can be killed in the same ways as any other normal human being.
He is a man.
Yeah, he is a man.
Yes.
He is a man gone insane.
Hello, Clarice. Hannibal Lecter is the main antagonist of the Silence of the Lambs franchise. He is a brilliant psychopathic killer, infamous for eating his victims. Hannibal Lecter has a genius-level IQ, surgical and medical prowess, enhanced perceptiveness, and is an expert in psychology and psychiatry. Hannibal uses weapons such as knives and even forks, and is willing to take a bite out of his victims if he deems it necessary. Weaknesses. While Hannibal is a genius, he is still a human and can be killed like anyone else. Also, unlike most horror movie villains, Hannibal was captured by authorities and remained in prison for a lengthy period of time. So, let's find out where the battle will take place. Let's first of all get the Amityville house out of the mix.
Get out of here, Amityville house.
Inside a high school. This will be
okay.
Cool.
It's one of the less spooky locations, but sometimes it's kind of cool when the spookiness spills out into.
It's at night though, so it's not going to be filled with kids.
Well,
right.
I chose this location specifically because I wanted there to be innocent bystanders that could be massacred in the process.
Okay, well, you know what? If it's your episode, okay, so maybe there's a school play or some shit.
I thought we were saying that it was spooky, and so all of these happened at night, and at night high schools are empty.
Yeah, but
Paul, it's a play or something like
this
or
one.
A gathering.
No, this time it's fucking daytime and it's full, and
maybe
they're
the school dance or something, and there's still people.
Well, no, because the prom is already on there. Because of Carrie.
Oh, okay.
Which she's not in this one. She's in the next one, but whatever.
Got
Spoilers.
it. So but inside a high school.
Whatever. We could say, I guess it could be at night, but I kind of wish there was fucking victims for these things to slash.
Well,
maybe there's at least a night janitor or something.
Schools. Well, there's night events at schools. There's just, whatever. There's extracurricular activities. It's not super late. It's like 7 o'clock. There's some kids there.
Let's see if Jack Torrance is going to get an edge or a handicap or neither. Jack Torrance is going to get a handicap.
He already is. He's an alcoholic.
What is his handicap, TJ?
Oh, that's not a handicap. Has to team up with Andy Dick.
Oh,
he's dead.
Yeah, fuck, Jack Torrance, dude.
So Andy Dick is there.
You don't even roll the rest of it.
There's a guy that's trying to kill us.
Hold on.
Don't even roll the rest of it. Andy Dick is going to do like whatever the opposite is that he should do. He's going to get them both killed.
Well, hold on.
It's over.
Well,
he's against Hannibal Lecter.
But Hannibal, you never know what Hannibal might have a fucking disadvantage too, though. You know what I mean?
Well, I guess fair enough. Does he have to team up with Rob Schneider?
So the weapon that Jack gets is a garrote wire, which is basically a
stealthy weapon used by special forces people that requires dexterity and surprise.
And Jack Torrance probably has the lowest stealth of anyone on this fucking list too.
He literally
low stealth. He has Andy Dick.
He literally runs around wherever he is with an axe, screaming the name of whoever he wants to kill.
So
another way to lessen his stealth, just team him up with fucking Andy Dick. So he literally has like. Everyone's gonna know he's coming a mile a fucking way.
Unless Hannibal just gets a really bad handicap, I don't really see.
What?
Okay, wait,
Jack,
hold on.
Have you heard of
Hannibal?
Fat Fried?
Hold on. Hannibal is gonna get a handicap.
Okay.
So
okay.
Let's see what happens to him. Sore from intense yoga. That's not going to make it. This is over.
You know what?
He does that anyway in his
Hannibal's
fucking
keeping in
cell.
good shape.
I mean,
he just fucking
I hate
pushes
to-
workout.
I hate to just like
Sorry,
fucking.
yeah.
I mean, you know. Sorry, Jack.
Like, we're not even debating this one.
It's just
So you were like,
there's
man,
no
for an
need.
hour and 9 minutes. Dude, you get teamed up with Andy Dick. There's just no way. Hannibal just has all day long to plan.
I
Andy
mean-
Dick somehow. I mean, all he has for a weapon is basically a fucking piano wire
Jack-
to fucking try to kill Hannibal. There's just no way.
Jack, you'll get another chance in a minute.
He literally
What
got
weapon was
teamed-
Hannibal gonna get? What weapon would Hannibal have got, TJ?
What weapon would he have got? I guess we could check. Hold on.
I mean, if he gets like,
as
no,
long as
maybe
it's
he gets a
not
total
like
shit
a
weapon.
As long as it's not like
the
a
drill
stuffed
guitar
animal.
from Slumber Party Massacre.
Dude, no,
He's fucked. He's fucked. He's just
oh
fucked. There's
my
no.
god, Hannibal eviscerates him. He's
It's
not,
just done.
He's
It's
having
done.
fucking kidney pies for dinner tonight.
I mean, I already fucking put him as the. I mean, it's just
Okay,
like,
yeah. That's,
the roles just went too far
oh my god,
against Jack in this one. Just no way.
I think we have to appreciate how shitty a role Andy Dick was for Jack Torrance, because he literally, like, the only thing worse than an alcoholic is two of them working together, because they just make each other worse alcoholics. So chances are fucking he would be hiding in the fucking maintenance shed or something, drinking booze with Andy Dick and doing blow and thinking he was a ghost or something that used to live in the high school. And fucking Hannibal Lecter's just gonna bust in there with the murder guitar and
it's done.
All right.
Hello, Jack. Yeah, Jack's done. Andy's
right.
done as well.
The knowledge of death changes everything. If I were to tell you the exact date and time of your death, it would shatter your world completely. I know. Can you imagine what it feels like to have someone sit you down and tell you that you're dying? The gravity of that. That the clock's ticking for you. That's, of course, John Kramer, the Jigsaw killer. He's the main antagonist of the Saw franchise. He is a former civil engineer who, after going through several traumatic events, became a deluded and obsessive serial killer with the intention of teaching his victims that life is precious. He's probably the most famous for intimidating his victims by using Billy the Puppet, a special small and red kabuki-like doll. John Kramer possesses genius-level intellect, enhanced stealth, and is an engineering expert. He possesses a vast knowledge of highly designed traps. He has been shown to know how to use firearms, knives, and is shown to know exactly how to lure someone into a trap, even if he is fleeing. He has medical supplies that he can inject into an opponent to induce sleep or make them dizzy/delirious. Weaknesses, of course, he is a 52-year-old man. He has brain cancer, making him weaker than the average person due to that treatment. He can be killed in the same way as any other person. And he's going up against Leatherface, who couldn't be more polar opposite.
the literal polar opposite of Jigsaw is Leatherface, an insane guy that cuts people up with fucking chainsaws, sadistically loves torturing people, wears a dead person's skin on his face.
So get that bitch, Leatherface. Get that bitch. That's Chop Top Sawyer.
Dog will hunt.
Jebediah Sawyer, a.k.a. Leatherface, is the main antagonist of the one of them anyway, of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre series. He is a cannibalistic murderer that wears the faces of his victims in order to express his personality. Leatherface, this is powers, abilities, and weapons. Leatherface, of course, you know what his weapon is, has enhanced strength and durability. He is excellent in melee combat. His signature weapon is a chainsaw, while he does use a meat hook, meat cleaver, and hammer. So he doesn't always use a chainsaw.
Yeah,
So we know
pretty
he's
versatile
versatile, right?
Yeah.
So whatever he rolls, we have as long as it's an instrument of death, we have a good idea he's going to wield it.
Is Andy Dick also a weapon? Because if he gets that as a weapon, then maybe I'm going to count it against him.
You could swing Andy Dick and hurt somebody with him.
You could.
I know.
what
That's why I'm, yeah,
So
that's gonna take a little more
weaknesses. So weaknesses. Leatherface, unlike most of the killers on this list, is not very bright and can actually be easily tricked. He's also just a human being, can be killed. So we got
This
almost
is an interesting one.
polar opposites here, and I think this one is going to really come down to rolls.
It's 100% rolls. It
So-
depends on prep time and location and weapons so much.
So let's see what Jigsaw gets. Okay, so
All
first of
right.
all, they're going to fight at the Overlook Hotel, which might have helped Jack a little bit, but
Damn.
came too
Yeah,
late
it
for
doesn't.
him.
Too late for Jack, unfortunately. It doesn't really do much for either of these people. I don't think either of these people is going to be in the hotel long enough to go mad from it. So
yeah,
and fucking Leatherface is already insane. So
yeah,
like, what is it? What
I mean, they're
what's
both
going to do
they're
to
both
him?
already insane. I mean, they've both already
been
corrupted to the point of being murdering psychopaths. So I don't.
Shit, they might get lost in the fucking hotel.
The Overlook Hotel is probably just gonna be like, "We love you." So let's see if what Jigsaw is gonna get. Okay, he's not gonna get a handicap or a advantage.
Fair enough. That's actually kind of a shit roll for him because he really needed to roll an advantage and have that advantage give him some kind of setup time.
Let's see what kind of weapon he's going to have. He's going to have a shovel at his disposal.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, that's a deadly ass fucking weapon. You can kill somebody outright with a shovel.
You can definitely
against Leatherface.
I mean, Leatherface is a human being. He's susceptible to getting hit in the head with a fucking shovel.
Also susceptible to being tricked, manipulated, and fooled very easily. So you have to keep him.
So yeah,
so we have to keep in mind that there is a huge IQ gap between these two, but there's also a strength gap that favors Leatherface. So
yes,
we will see now what sort of we can get for the rolls for Leatherface here. Also, neither. Interesting.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So, what will he get as a weapon? 5-foot chain.
That's not good.
Oh,
not the greatest weapon for Leatherface. They both got
no. I was saying that's not good for fucking Jigsaw, dude. Because, dude, I'm telling you, a 5-foot length of fucking chain in the hands of somebody that knows how to use it.
Yeah, you may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head.
You could wrap that around somebody and trip them and be on top of them in a second, beating them with a fistful of chain.
Yeah, but this
you can wrap it around their legs. You can hit them with it.
Not his favorite weapon, though.
You ever been whipped with something that normally shouldn't hurt and it hurts really bad?
Yeah.
Think of getting whipped in the face with chain. It will knock you clean out. No, dude, a length of chain is a deadly fucking weapon. Dude.
I mean, of course, I didn't put anything in there that wasn't a deadly weapon. There's no joke weapons like toothpick or some shit. You know what I mean? Like, they're all deadly. Right. And they're all things I've seen used in horror movies before. But for Leatherface, you know, there's a lot of stuff he could have got that would have been way more to his specs than that.
Where did this take place again?
It's Overlook, the Overlook Hotel. So they're in the Overlook Hotel from the Stanley Kubrick film. Neither of them has any sort of edge or advantage. This is just like you put these two guys in the Overlook Hotel. So I'm going to assume that they probably don't. They're probably not going to start in the exact same room of the hotel. But they both know about each other in the hotel, and they're both, you know, looking for the other and trying to figure out some way to get the edge. So like I remember Jigsaw being reasonably quick on his feet. I don't think he has any sort of like. He's not slow or anything. He's not as strong as fucking Leatherface for sure. Leatherface has almost supernatural strength.
So I mean, Jigsaw is clearly he's trying to rig something up.
So
he's
the question
trying to figure out a way to manipulate Leatherface. He's not going to go.
The question is, can Jigsaw come up with a clever enough plan to lure Leatherface into a trap or to his death?
And maybe he entreat the ghost of the Overlook Hotel.
I have been thinking about this. The ghosts of the Overlook Hotel clearly need time in order to work their madness on the right type of person.
Yes.
For one of these people, it doesn't even matter. He's already fucking gibbering insane. Yeah. And for the other, they're not going to be there long enough. So here's the thing. Because we can't say Jigsaw had 20 fucking years to set up an elaborate maze of traps and shit.
No, he did not have that.
So Jigsaw's got a shovel. He's in the Overlook Hotel. Okay. He has the acumen and intelligence to see Leatherface and size up his foe. He's going to know by observing him stealthily that he's an oaf. He's going to see what he's armed with. He's going to see him swinging the chain as he walks room to room. He's going to give away his entire fucking game to Jigsaw.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Jigsaw is also in an expansive place that has tons of servant entrances and dumbwaiters and ways for him to move around the house that fucking Leatherface doesn't even know exists because he's a hick from the sticks. He's never even been in a place like this, right? Leatherface is kind of made by I guess it's an implied inbreeding and just being a total uneducated, retarded hick living out in the middle of nowhere with a family that grooms him that way. So he's going to walk into the Overlook. And not only that, I actually think the Overlook in all its splendor and grandeur is going to be a negative against Leatherface in this fight. Because when he let's say that fucking Jigsaw leads him into the the golden ballroom, and then turns on all the lights and music all at once. You know what I mean? Which is not without of the realm of possibility that, he's going to be able to find that shit and manipulate
Yeah, I mean, it might be so disorienting to Leatherface that I can see him in there. There's like that ball. Too much shit going on.
The environment is kind of a little bit overstimulating for someone like that. So I can definitely see, I can see the Overlook Hotel giving an advantage to. But is there? Like,
it's so expansive.
At the end of the day, though, is that really going to overcome like the brute strength and violence inherent?
Yes.
See, that's the only obstacle to Jigsaw winning I see at this point. Is how do we plausibly give Jigsaw the fucking W? Like, what is it? How does he rig it up?
Well, let's think about the rooms of the Overlook.
I got it.
Paul, you love this movie.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I have an idea on how Jigsaw wins this, and it takes a little bit of time, not like days that it would take for the ghosts to start working on anybody's mind, so we can't bring that into play. Jigsaw, I think, would see, because like we admitted in the bio that even though he's big and strong and probably pretty hardy because he lives out in the middle of sticks and he works hard and does hard labor and shit, he's a human. He's subject to the same needs as a human has. He will eventually get not only tired physically, but tired psychologically. That is my thing that I think Jigsaw is going to do. Because he doesn't have a chance to rig traps, he's going to use the astonishing beauty and weird nature of the Overlook Hotel and its many gilded hallways and different ballrooms and different bars and game rooms.
That's another thing too. I mean, the Overlook Hotel, there's a lot of places you can stealthily hide.
Right.
Like,
This
this
is a cat and mouse game for sure, right?
Right.
Oh,
and
yeah,
so
100%.
I think he is going to wear out Leatherface with things that look like attacks and give him so many startle responses that he gets that adrenaline crash where you start to get slow. And eventually he's going to have to fucking sit down and take a rest somewhere. And Leatherface is stupid enough to do that. Like, Leatherface tired. And it's at that moment that fucking Jigsaw is going to descend on him with that fucking shovel and hit him right in the back of in the nape of his neck with the shovel as hard as he can. And I don't care how hardy you are. Maybe it just wounds him. But if it gets through to his spine, he's dead. If it breaks his vertebrae, he's dead. If it knocks him out, he's dead.
Yeah.
Or maybe he just walks up behind him and gives him the hardest overhead fucking smash he can give him with that fucking thing. I don't care who you are. Leatherface is a normal human. That's going to bust your brain open. And so either way, I don't see because here's what Leatherface winning depends on. Cornering Jigsaw.
Yeah, and it's not a great cornering location because
one of the most slippery people on this list. I mean, Jigsaw is notoriously.
I mean, he's a master of evasion. Like that's how he evaded capture for so long.
I mean, the Overlook Hotel is the perfect playground for someone who is evading. Obviously, he's a fish out of water too. We can't just be like, oh, he knows the Overlook Hotel, but
right. But I mean,
he's going to pick it up.
He's so many clues. His genius level civil engineer IQ is going to fucking look around. He's going to assess this place a lot quicker than fucking.
Okay, this is.
Dumbass. He's going to move room to room. He's going to find all the controls for the lighting and any of the systems of that room immediately. He's going to know what that room is capable of strategically, and then he's going to move and he's going to build a picture of the hotel in his mind. Whereas fucking, Leatherface is just going to be walking around like, oh,
let's remember
everything he
sees. The conceit of the Saw movies is that Jigsaw is so brilliant that even though he dies in the third movie, of his own design, by the way, the series continues on beyond that just because he laid out so many plans that, like, he can literally kill people from beyond the grave for fucking, years to come. Like, That's the level of fucking genius that Jigsaw is assumed to have. So, I mean, like, I don't know. In a big place like this, with all kinds of, I mean, like, he's just gonna fucking toy with Leatherface and fucking destroy him. I mean,
yeah, if it's in a fucking cell, you know, it's done. You
is
know,
there a
Jigsaw's done?
The only way Leatherface wins is if he just gets lucky and does happen to fucking somehow corner, like, Jigsaw makes a mistake, gets cornered by Leatherface.
Is that possible? Sure, but I think we're going with the betting man thing, and we're looking at the odds, and I would give the odds strongly in favor of Jigsaw.
And also, Jigsaw is going to fucking... I mean, like, the longer he's toying with Leatherface, the more he's going to have a chance to explore this environment, and the more he's going to have a chance to put fucking other weapons together. He might not even end up using the shovel.
Yeah. I don't even... Yeah, because he's going to be in the Overlook has a kitchen. It's filled with knives and implements that he could make improvisational fucking traps with.
Things he's super familiar with. And unlike Leatherface, who's not even going to think to, like, find the kitchen. Like, Leatherface is not intelligent enough to be like, I bet you there's weapons in the kitchen. I better go get one of those.
He's already got his weapon. He's like,
he's
I'm
like, I got chain. I'm going to kill with chain because I have chain. You know, it's like...
Yeah.
No.
Unless Scotty has a major disagreement, I think, you know, Leatherface goes to losers.
I think this is
Look, I'm a contentious fuck, but I feel it's pretty sound.
Yeah, I think Jigsaw gets this. So
Jigsaw's a toughie on this list because he really is a super ultra genius, so...
but I mean, he is physically weaker than some of the others, and I think it's going to be hard.
Oh, shit. Andy's going to face off against our other super ultra genius, too, in the next fucking round.
Right.
That's interesting.
Jigsaw versus Hannibal. Hannibal ain't no story. Hannibal ain't no slouch either, so.
That's what I'm saying. That's going to be an interesting one to look
Overlook would have been a great one. I almost wish they would have rolled that one, those two together.
I'll be right back.
So I'm going to switch real quick just to the main screen so let's talk a little bit, Scotty, while TJ's taking a leak or whatever about our next round here. I don't know if he's going to go to losers first, but we can't see beyond winners. So in winners, we got Chucky versus Michael Myers. Off top, this one does not bode well for Chucky with me.
No, man. Chucky, it's like, look, Michael Myers, you know, Chucky slashes Michael Myers. They ain't doing the same thing they did to Ghostface, you know. Michael Myers just turns at Chucky then and is like, you know, it's honestly that, you know, cat and mouse a second ago, like, it's going to be cat and mouse with those two because if Michael Myers gets a hold of Chucky, he can literally just rip Chucky apart.
Yeah, I mean, it will to some extent come down to rolls, but if you want the straight odds on this one for me, the straight odds are Michael Myers is going to pull the stuffing out of Chucky.
Unless he's saddled with Andy Dick. You know,
but dude,
if you roll poorly like that, maybe. No, even then, I think you probably win. But.
This round 2 winners bracket, though, Hannibal versus Jigsaw is going to be really fucking interesting.
You know, we can say that, but, you know, that's the unique thing about the way this is positioned, you know. And we've refined these tournaments because the first time it's just like, let's argue it. But then having the location, because there's a location that favors one. Now, Hannibal and Jigsaw, you know, Jigsaw's layers on there, then, I mean, I like Hannibal, but I mean, fuck, then it's so far in his favor.
Of course. Yeah, it comes down to rolls for sure. But if you're doing straight odds in a boxing ring against these two, man, no, how do you call it? You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. It's like the rolls
come down to the rolls.
But if they both roll neutral, or if they both roll pretty decent, then this one could be.
If all things are equal, is what you're saying. If you're going to the all things are equal,
which is totally possible. It almost happened in the last one.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah, it could.
They both got a usable weapon, and they both got no.
There's going to be some edge. There's always, I mean, because you know, it's just kind of the process of thinking about it in the environments, and like as we got that last roll, it's like the Overlook could tell it kind of just came to us like, okay, look, you know, there's no way Jigsaw's running out in this expansive environment going, ah, you know,
right.
like
no,
he's dead then.
He's gonna use the whole hotel against fucking.
I almost see it like you played this game. It's like Alien. It's the one with like it's like the aliens chasing you around.
Isolation.
Yeah, Alien Isolation. It's like that. It's like, yeah, if you fucking run up to the alien in that game, of course, yes, you're dead. But if you do anything but live.
Question: do you guys want to go to the loser bracket and advance that, or do you want to do that at the end?
We were just talking about that. We didn't know what you had in mind. It really doesn't matter. We talked a little bit about the upcoming ones just outside of any rolls and shit and how they stack up.
Let's go with the winners because then we get to the number 1 winner and then it's like, hey, then it's number 2 winner. You see what I'm saying? And then that kind of gives more suspense for the audience here. It's like, hey, this is the winner of this bracket, but they're not the true winner yet.
Right.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's go.
Who
ahead
are they
and
going to face?
So the first battle then is Chucky versus.
And we strongly favor. Me and Paul talked about this. Michael Myers is a strong favorite from us. I mean, hey, you never know what
I
the
think
role's
he
gonna
is
be.
I mean, he's probably the favorite overall, but I'll leave the Overlook Hotel in the rotation, I guess.
Yeah, it's too good of a location.
I can't get rid of all these every time. Some of them,
No,
I
it's
think,
fine.
Just no back-to-backs.
yeah.
With us agreeing, yeah, about the ghost not being a factor, I think it's a good location.
Just thinking the blank spot is a fucking option. Hell.
Damn.
You're going to hell, boy.
I mean,
dude, that's an epic
what
location.
version of hell? I have to ask, all right, what version of hell?
The reason I put hell in there was from Hellraiser, so the Hellraiser version of hell. Glad you asked that.
Awesome,
so
dude.
the labyrinth.
Chilling on Leviathan and shit, dude.
Yep.
So hell is a labyrinth.
Yep. Okay, so which one of those was first? I gotta go back.
Which one of what?
I gotta see.
Chucky's on
Chucky's
top.
first. Okay.
Chucky, yeah.
All right, so let's see what Chucky's stats are gonna be. And Scotty, you're keeping track of these, so.
Yep, Chucky.
Okay, so Chucky gets neither a advantage nor a handicap.
Okay.
Dude.
So let's hope that Chucky gets a better weapon this time. Scalpel, more Chucky speed for sure.
That's a perfect Chucky weapon.
That is I love that weapon for Chucky.
Okay. So
no handicap and a scalpel.
In hell, damn. No handicap. Chucky with a scalpel in hell. Sounds like a nightmare. Sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Michael Myers also gets neither. Getting tired of these neither rolls, but whatever. Okay. Let's see what Michael Myers gets as his weapon.
Yeah, we want him
big
to
fucking combat knife.
Oh, God.
Also,
Chucky.
Also a perfect weapon for Michael Myers.
He has the knife of Rambo, dude. He's got like a Rambo knife. And he's got one thing on his mind.
All right.
And that's your fucking ass.
Both of these guys rolled the perfect weapon for them.
Yes, they did.
Okay, so that equalizes things a bit.
They're in the labyrinth of hell, so neither of them knows where the fuck they're going.
Right, but that's the point.
I almost feel like Michael Myers is going to be a little more comfortable in that labyrinth.
Well, let's just remember, too, I kind of have a feel that both of these characters almost have like a supernatural ability to navigate strange places and to...
Well, here's the thing.
They need to stalk their prey and shit, so...
If we're going with the canonical fucking version of Hellraiser 2 Hell...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the labyrinth is not just a labyrinth. It is a place where you are tortured by visions from your past that are extra harmful to you.
Sure.
Like there's an implication in Hellraiser that Kirsty Cotton was molested at some point by her uncle.
Right.
Yeah.
Because in Hellraiser 2, she runs into Uncle Frank in the labyrinth and he makes moves on her and tries to get on top of her.
Yeah, I love that scene. That's a crazy scene with all the fucking coffins coming out of the wall and shit.
So here's the thing about that. So if we're gonna fucking make that a factor, which I think you should do.
It has to be. And let me finish. There's one more factor.
Sure.
The labyrinth is also not empty. The Cenobites live there.
Yeah.
So Chatterer, fucking Open Neck, Pinhead, the whole crew are down there too, and they fuck with people too. They want to lure you into their little torture shack. So the labyrinth has instead of a minotaur at the end of it, it's got like spooky supernatural ability to play to your psychological needs. Both characters of which have psychology here. Michael Myers has a childhood and shit.
Sure.
It's gonna put him back in that. Chucky has all his failures in his past and all the people that he's killed. He's gonna be faced with them.
Yeah.
And the means to the end is that's gonna be leading him towards the torture dungeon of one of these Cenobites.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna have to contend with all that shit too.
Sure.
Because that happens immediately as you get into hell.
I do think that Chucky is probably going to be more susceptible to the psychological manipulation than Michael Myers is. Very few of the films, especially the earlier films, portray Michael Myers as having really much of a psychology at all. Like, there's a reason why he's credited in the... I mean, like, if you look at the credits of the original Halloween, he's not credited as Michael Myers. He's credited as the Shape. And the idea behind him being the Shape is that he's not really a human being. He's just like a killing machine that occupies a human form. Now, the
introduction you gave him implied a childhood.
Right, but I mean, like, he murdered his sister as a child and, like, had, like, this blank stare, never spoke a word again, kind of just became... I mean, like... So there are versions of the story that do portray him as having some sort of sentimentality or some sort of humanity to him.
Doesn't
Halloween
Laurie
5?
Strode
I thought we said we were going with Halloween 1 and 2, though. Are we going to consider all the films for this?
Well, you know, I mean, I think that there's some of the, like, Halloween, I mean, it depends on how far into the fucking mythology you want to go, because Halloween, like, 5 definitely depicts Michael Myers as having some sentimentality. There's moments where,
Hey, guys.
What's the name of the psychologist? Loomis. There's moments where Loomis is able to kind of talk to Michael and, like, play to maybe some sort of conflict in him. So, I mean, there's definitely... Michael Myers is not beyond psychological manipulation, but it seems like the evil in him and the drive to kill always sort of wins out over anything else.
Here's the thing that I know about the Labyrinth, and I'm probably not an expert on the Hellraiser universe, but I know more than most people.
Yeah.
The Labyrinth is, if you have a button, it's going to push it, whether it's a pleasure button or a pain button or a psychological button. It's going to know that already about you and know exactly how to push it. So the question I have for you is, does Michael Myers have a button?
I think he does. I mean, I think his button is that he wants to kill. And I feel like there's some small semblance of him that feels trapped within the monster of that he is, that could be played to some extent.
You broke up a little bit.
I was just saying that there's some small part of him that is maybe trapped within the monster that is still human.
Okay.
But Chucky, I think, is more of a raw nerve. Like, Chucky doesn't have very much emotional control at all. He's kind of way more...
He's haunted by his failures in life. He's haunted by the fact that he was killed and one-upped at one point, and he's so determined that he comes back, you know.
I mean, like, canonically, he does eventually accept and actually learn to like being the killer doll, but for many of those films, he's actually very insecure about being a doll.
Right. He's very vain. That's going to be played to him. He's going to appear to himself as he was, you know, like, so this is a fucked up fight. If you'd have rolled any other setting for this, I have to be a stickler, though, because you can't just, like, say the demons are out of town for the day if it's going to take place.
Sure.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
So they're both going to be led in different ways down the labyrinth, maybe ultimately into combat with one another, but they're both going to be tortured in their own unique way along the way before they find each other.
Yeah, we have to accept this. The Cenobites are gonna fucking fuck with them before. Like, I guess they want the combat to happen too, but of course they have to have their taste of pleasure.
Yeah, Pinhead is definitely out of town because he's gonna come into play later. So, like,
Pinhead's out of town.
Pinhead's off doing something else. He's on vacation.
Sure, but the top boss in the labyrinth is the Lord of the Labyrinth, who sits at its center and controls everything that goes on, including the Cenobites. He is their lord, as well as everything else that dwells within its domain. So the Lord of the Labyrinth stands at the center, and that is the machination which both of these people will be fighting against as they fight each other.
Yes.
Now, I guess for the sake of this, we will say that the machinations of Lull, the Lord of the Labyrinth, are to make these two fight one another. But he's gonna fuck with them first.
Yeah, maybe he's promised to release the one that can defeat the other or something.
Sure,
because neither of them wants to be in hell. But yeah, for some reason these two are going to come into conflict.
One of them is going to hell. The losers bracket.
Yeah.
So I think that. So here's where I'm at on this question so far. I already think Chucky is at a disadvantage. Just like taking every other factor out of it, I think Chucky's a disadvantage. But I also think that he's more not as robustly psychologically prepared to deal with the horrors of hell. I think that he has I think he has way more insecurities. I think that he has way more emotional volatility than Michael Myers.
You know more about Chucky than I do, TJ, because I'm not really a huge fan of the. So can I ask you a question about Chucky?
Sure.
I seem to remember that he's like a horn dog, right?
Yes, he's
a pussy hound.
Oh yeah, he's definitely horny.
Oh, 100%.
And kind of like a deviant too when it comes to sex. Like he's a sadist. And a rapist, right? Isn't Charles Lee Ray like a serial killer rapist of women?
I don't know that. I'm trying to think if he's ever overtly. It's never been canonically. I don't think he's ever been like canonically.
But I mean, do you think he did or not?
I think you could probably pretty strongly imply that he's probably been a rapist. Yeah.
So here's the thing. I think you're right because that is exactly the tinge that this particular version of hell has. It's psychosexual sadism, basically.
Right. And
so he is like, whereas Michael Myers probably.
Let's remember that Michael Myers, the reason he killed his sister is because he saw her having sex, and he actually killed her while she was topless. So there is a little bit of a sexual angle to him too, but that's really never played up in any of the films after that. So. I mean,
it comes down to the 1v1. They're both going to be psychologically manipulated, fucked with by the Cenobites. They are both going to be, every button that they have is going to be pushed. And then they're going to be thrown into a horrible arena that's probably filled with things that will damage them, honestly, like hooks, like fish hooks on chains hanging from the ceiling. And that's where the fight will take place. And I don't think Chucky stands a motherfucking chance.
I don't either. I think Michael Myers.
I see Michael Myers just ripping Chucky apart. I see as
soon as I heard that Michael Myers had that combat knife, even taking hell and all this other stuff out of the equation, I just immediately saw an image in my mind of Chucky impaled upon that knife.
Here's why. Because the psychological torture that Michael Myers is put through, where they bring up his childhood, his topless sister shows up riding a big fat dick, and she's like, "Oh, what are you gonna do now, Michael?" And he tries to kill her, and the blade just goes right through her, or he kills her, and she just keeps riding the dick. And she's like, "Oh yeah, fucking slice me up, Michael. Yeah, fucking chop me up harder, baby." Like that's just gonna make him madder. Whereas Charles Lee Ray is going to be drained by it.
Yeah, I think that I'm sorry to interrupt, but I kind of see Chucky at the end of this being like, by the time that he's done with the torments of hell and actually gets to this battle, I kind of view him as almost being like psychologically imploded by it.
Michael Myers is going to be fueled by it. He's going to enter that meat hook fucking arena, the fish hook arena, like fucking so pissed off that he's going to destroy the whole fucking place. And Chucky is probably going to be beneath his notice at that point. And Chucky is going to come in there bedraggled, conflicted about what he is and what he's done and what the meaning of all this shit is. And he's a doll. He's fucked. Get him out.
Yeah. Sorry, Chuck.
Losers, Chuck.
Yeah,
sorry.
Dude,
sorry, Chucky, man. I just don't think you could do it.
I can't imagine a scenario with this setup when being in hell that Chucky wins. Chucky's fucking gone.
Yeah, Scotty's right. Paul's right. I'm right. It's obvious. Different roles could have come out a different way, but yeah.
It was interesting though that as you kind of flipped through the Rolodex of your knowledge on Michael Myers, we knew that he would have all these psychological buttons that would be pushed in this particular arena. I'd say we leave that arena in as well.
Yeah, let's leave it in.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, we'll decide. Well, I guess we'll just kind of decide on the go which ones should be retired after their use.
I mean, I think a lot of them should be brought back for the other one too, maybe. Unless they have that as a separate.
It's the same stuff. It's all part of one giant tournament.
Okay.
This is just a different level of the tournament.
Gotcha.
All right, so now it's the two evil geniuses facing off to see who gets the privilege of going up against the Shape. All right,
dude. Before you make a roll, can I just say?
Yes.
That this one comes down more to rolls than I think any other one so far has, because if these guys are somehow left equal in a place on equal footing, we're going to argue until we're blue in the face.
It's going to be tough. All right, let's see where they're going to be. The Dark Carnival.
Hi there, plebs. Welcome to the paywall. It's me, your friend Mickey, here to let you know that if you want to see the rest of this crazy show, it's up in its entirety on the Pessimist Productions Patreon. Things that you might miss if you decide not to pay us are coked out Jigsaw, Jack Torrance in a berserker rage, wielding a pair of garden shears, and a fight that takes place in Paul's apartment. Join now, or forever wonder what happened.